Welcome back to Comics, the podcast where me and my mom go through our comic book collection, 2 issues at a time. And this is a DC starting issue. We're beginning with Batman Gotham Knights. It's a 4-issue miniseries, and this is the first issue from March 1992. This is a miniseries that focuses on the citizens of Gotham City. Batman still makes his appearance. I mean, he's right there on the cover. But it's mainly looking at just your average.
Can I bring up the whole weird effect of that Knights?
Yeah, it's weird. There's like a Gothic font for Gotham, and I like the city like skyline there.
Yeah, that Knights is intense.
Yeah, it seems
It's
like
got a three-dimensional quality to it.
this could be like a TV miniseries or something.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a trend in media of like something Knights.
Yeah.
CSI Knights.
It's time to
Law and
watch your
Order
stories.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's the man, the myth, the legend.
Well, we look at so many 80s comics that it's such a aesthetic change to look at these purpley pink.
Yeah.
The vividness of them, I guess it's just less faded, or there's just higher resolution technology in the publishing
Well, and
industry.
different papers, and
Yeah, definitely.
time is not kind to paper.
Yeah. But yeah, the colors really pop on this one. I like the way that they use the pinkish purple in the
background.
sound effects
Yeah.
there too. And so we start off with this guy, Pack, I guess, who has kidnapped a child, and Batman is in pursuit in the Gotham subway system.
This is great, this drawing.
Yeah, I like the way that his cape, you realize, oh, that's enveloping like the whole frame.
Yeah,
from this
that's
part.
really nice.
Like he's emerging from the shadow, and that cool, I guess that's the sound of the train in the background or something. But the way it follows the action
Yes,
horizontally like that is really neat.
nice artwork. A little
So,
more cartoony in the
yeah, it's interesting because there's
portraiture.
like a lot of detail, but it's still not afraid to have like the really stripped down simplistic representation.
Yeah, it's nice.
Very abstracted. So yeah, the train subway conductor's like, oh crap, Batman's on the tracks. But we cut away from that to talk more generally about the city of Gotham. So that's sort of, remember that for later on, that Batman's chasing a child abductor. And it talks about the architecture of Gotham. I really like the way that they draw the city in this one. I like that pinkish purple sky and the water, the reflection.
These are some intense roads.
I know. It's like driving in Cincinnati or something. Everything's on a damn hill and it's a one-way street everywhere. It's the wrong way that you need to go.
Exactly.
So there's a Winston Churchill quote. That's another thing I noticed an episode or two ago is like the trope of quoting a nonfiction or like a literary source. That happened a couple times recently. This one's from Winston Churchill. He said, "We shape our buildings, thereafter they shape us." And the narration is all about what makes unique, what makes Gotham unique. I love this crazy drawing of
That's a lot.
Yeah, we
That
got-
would be a beautiful poster.
a straight like head-on angle of the city, and I love the sky. That's really cool. It says Frank Lloyd Wright, the renowned architect, noting the city's unique, some say notorious architectural style, called the city a Jotunheim after the land of the giants in Norse myths, claiming that the city was designed for a race of giants, but not for people. The people of Gotham, in their customary style, have made the criticism into a perverse compliment. To make it in the city they both love and hate, they say you have to be larger than life. They are, all of them, in their own mind's eye, giants. Dream large, they'll tell you, if you come to Gotham. Reach far, fail spectacularly, dare everything. This is the city of the big time. And every day millions of giants cross each other's path here at what's been called the Crossroads of Gotham, the city's main railroad station, Robinson Central Terminal. I love all you can see the little spots where the purplish, dark purple is peeking through all the black shadow detail. It's got a cool
Okay, I have a
effect to it.
question. If you could choose to move to any city in any comic book.
None of them. Not Gotham.
No, not Gotham.
I'd be like the one that they mention in stopping off in some random adventure that things usually is like big monsters killing everyone doesn't happen. But not, I don't know. I guess Gotham would be better than, no, it wouldn't, because the Joker kills like hundreds of people every year, you think.
Yeah.
I was going to say Metropolis would be bad because you get the Superman level villains that could just kill you by looking at you. Or, you're just killed in the just by some falling random thing, just because some space level universe ending threat has happened to come to your town.
And
That
we're
probably doesn't happen in Gotham as
Fantastic
much.
Four
New York City, their
And
version
they-
of it.
and Spider-Man is there.
Yeah, I'd want to live in where are the Great Lakes Avengers based? Ann Arbor or something. I would like this interior view of the railroad
Yeah.
station. It's like Grand Central Station looking kind of thing.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's all purple though. And
is
so this is kind of where we catch up with all of our characters. Is they're all coming to Gotham from various places. It says that some commuters traveling as far as 2 hours away into the city to work come here. The subways with their hard molded plastic seats linking neighborhood with neighborhood. The Amtrak trains reaching out across the continent, bringing in tourists and travelers and would-be giants who want to measure themselves by Gotham's yardstick. So I like this busker,
Yeah.
the kid who's on like some kind of leash on one of those little plastic wires.
Clark Kent came.
Yeah, he's got his orange suit on. He's like, nobody will recognize me in this creamsicle colored suit. So our first character that we check
Vibrant
in,
colors.
I know, I love this color palette. The first character is someone who works at a donut place. This is, I guess we'll see her name in a moment, but mostly it's transpiring in her imagination. So he's like, here he comes. Every day it's the same thing. 2 chocolate glazed and a coffee, 2 creams, 1 sugar to go, and always he comes to me. And yeah, he says, yeah, let's see. Let me have 2 chocolate glazed and a coffee, 2 creams, 1 sugar to go. 2 chocolate glazed and a coffee, 2 creams, 1 sugar to go? Right. And she thinks that he insists on coming here and ordering that every day because he's secretly in love with her, and this is her imagination of what they look like, and their, I guess her name's Rosemary Hayes.
Aww.
And, he has hardly any idea she even exists, obviously, from the objective point of view.
Right.
But,
That's kind of
this little
sad.
lonely zoom out that we get
Sigh.
tells you everything you need to know.
Aww.
Guys having 2 chocolate donuts
chocolate
every
donuts?
day? Damn, that's not good for you.
10 donuts a week. Wow.
The other pair here that we're introduced to in the train station is this old couple. Joel, you okay? I'm okay, woman. Just like to catch my breath a moment is all. Maybe sit here a moment or so. And she's like, well, the doctor's expecting us. We still got a ways to go. He's like, these damn doctors. You know who was a good doctor? That Wayne. And she's like, well, he's dead now. And they're like, every decent person that comes to Gotham, that's what happens to him. This city kills everybody that's any good. That poor child, his wife says, what it must have done to him to see his folks killed in cold blood like that. I would have
Jeez.
become some kind of vigilante with a rodent theme, the flying rodent. The other pair that we're introduced to is intersecting in the background. these younger like professional types, and she's talking about like dates that she's going on. It's a very like friends, like busy young 20-somethings in the city and their dating life kind of character archetypes. And he says, Jennifer, you either have the worst taste or the worst luck in men. And they also stop at Donut Place.
Uh-oh.
And she there's like a weird misunderstanding where she's like assumes that he's gay. He says, I don't date much, Jen. AIDS and all that. And she shouts out, you've got AIDS? And all these people, Alfred's there, I guess. He's like, AIDS? Oh, Master Wayne.
Holy
It
crap.
definitely dates this comic about being like sensitive about that. And he's all
Jeez.
embarrassed. No, I do not have AIDS. I just meant I don't date much because of things like AIDS. Oh, yeah, well, it's hit your community pretty hard, I hear. East Norwood? No, I don't think it's any worse there than in any other community. No, dummy, I mean the gay community. You're a gay, right? Where did you get that idea? Well, you never made a pass at me, so I just assumed. And they have a little blow up of like, can a woman and a man be friends? And you must be gay because you're not romantically interested in me.
She's not at all
She's kind of like a
narcissistic.
frivolous person.
Jeez.
She's like friends with him just because she needs somebody to tell all of her adventures to or whatever, her ups and downs in her life. And we cut away to this guy who's encroaching in the background.
Yeah,
He's pissed. He got the Beatles cut, and he's like, I'm not happy with it.
it's more like the Mo cut.
Yeah, I asked for Beatles, not Stooges. So that, we don't really get to hear him, but we do hear that it's a diverse crowd because there's some Spanish mixed in. And all of a sudden, the guy from the first couple of panels
Runs
that Batman was
through.
chasing runs through. So they must have made it out okay from the train that was about to hit them, it looked like.
And Batman jumps down into the fray.
Yeah, imagine you're just trying to have breakfast and Batman's jumping down on you.
My donut!
I never really got into baseball cards. Spider-Man cards.
I have
on the
one
other hand.
baseball card, a Willie Stargell.
Was he a Pittsburgh Pirate?
Yes.
I remember you always liked the... and whenever anybody would ask me if I liked baseball or if I had a favorite team, I always say the Pittsburgh Pirates just because you liked them when I was a kid and I didn't know anything about baseball. But yeah, those Pirates, though.
The
Was it
Pirates?
Nightcrawler on that team?
Yes. And the Thing.
Give it up, Pack! So we get a little cross-section of all the characters we've met so far. And Batman easily, he doesn't have powers or anything. He easily takes him out.
This is nice.
I know, I like the way the gun, and it slides to this guy that we've just seen.
Uh-oh.
Dio, compadre, help me, man. Pick up the gun. Come on, Dionisio. Shoot him. So they're familiar with each other.
Oh. As is all people who practice crime.
Yeah, well, they run in a similar circle. And Batman actually says, you know this guy? He's like, wait, didn't you used to work for the Riddler? He's like, no, the Penguin, but I'm clean now. I'm out on parole. Batman's like, well, consider this fair warning to stay straight, buddy. And then he's like, I'm going to take a picture of this guy passed out. No, I think that's his gun. But look at his pathetic little face.
Wow. Look
All
at
his
that.
teeth got knocked out. Yeah,
at
well,
that
he doesn't
expression.
like Batman. He says, so that was the high and mighty Batman. I never thought he really existed before now. Joel, maybe we should be getting on. This damn city, crooks, costume freaks all over in these days.
And he was just talking about how much he loved his dad.
I know. That's the irony of
Wow.
it. So that's just a day in the life at the Gotham train station.
Wow. Grumpy old Joel.
Yeah, he hates everyone and everything. Well, he has a good reason. He's not doing well.
Well, yeah.
So
Hurt people.
we're going to the parole office where they're speaking some Spanish, and he's like trying to talk Dio here into doing more crime. And he's like, what about Batman, though? What are you going to do when he shows up? I just saw him like 5 minutes ago. He was whooping somebody else's ass. It's not going to be me. So Yeah, he looks. You can't help but be a henchman when you got facial expressions like that.
Yeah.
So he gets called in, and this guy says something sassy of like, because Dio's like, well, I got a wife and kid I got to take care of. He's like, yeah, who's the kid's father? Anybody I know? And he's like, watch your damn mouth. And he's about to, right in front of his parole officer and
Right,
this
and-
cop, he punches this guy,
Dang.
but he gets off with a warning, I guess. It's okay to punch someone once if you're a convicted criminal. So you get a warning for that one. We cut away to Joel, who's getting some bad news. Dying? You sure, Doc? Yes, Mr. Mayfield, the tests were conclusive. Our best diagnosis is 3 to 6 months. Maybe a little longer, maybe a little shorter. I'm sorry. 6 months? Good Lord, what happens to Emma after She's always been a little sicker than me. We always thought she'd be the first to go. Who will take care of her after Are there any relatives, any children? No, our boy died back in Vietnam.
Aww.
Well, there are many state and private agencies. None of them love her like I do, Doc. I don't care so much for myself. I've lived a long time, but what will happen to Emma? We don't have a lot of money. I'll be honest, Mr. Mayfield. I don't know. I wish I could tell you there was some kind of operation or treatment we could do that would help, but the most we can do is ease the pain you'll have. Come on, I think it's time we shared this with your wife, okay?
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, this is kind of like a gritty story. It's not easy living in Gotham. Now the sky's all red and orange. I like that change.
Yeah.
So he's supposed to meet his friend, the narcissistic woman. 601, doggone it, Jenny. All the seats are going to be taken. Where are you? And she got caught up talking to this Mr. Fenton, who's a professional writer. And he's kind of a smooth-talking, phony-seeming kind of person. And he's like, I'm a good liar and all this stuff about, like, part of being a writer or a fiction writer is lying to people. And it's like, what? How is that supposed to be intriguing? You're just saying you're dishonest?
Yeah, exactly.
So she's going to catch a later train. We see Dio and we see Rosemary from the donut place are now on their trains after a hard day's work or, hard day of visiting your parole officer, heading home.
Oh, boy.
Dio gets back home and talks to his wife, and he's like, do we have any beer? And he freaks out because they don't. And she's like, the landlord is here, he wants his money, and we're late on rent, they're going to kick us out if we don't do anything. And he climbs out on the balcony to get some air and sees the bat symbol. Some poor bastard is going to get broke tonight. Good luck, Hector. And so that was the guy that he had encountered in the parole office. He's rooting for him to get away from the Batman, I guess. Go to hell where you belong, Bat. Somebody wrote there's also like a Batman like homicide outline.
This little dude. Oh,
He's telling Batman, I'm snitching. So I don't know. It was an okay comic. I think it's the first issue, so it's not going to be the most intriguing.
Kind of setting the mood.
Yeah, I think we have the whole miniseries, so
Really?
maybe I'll bring it back. I know we usually don't do sequential stuff, so I'll have to intersperse it just to be consistent. But I'm curious enough to see where it goes. I almost wonder if we pop back to issue 3 or 4 and just speed things along and see how it
Right.
develops.
Right.
This was weird, too. It's from the American Heart Association. This surprised me. I'm not used to seeing a serious kind of PSA thing in a comic. Batman's best friend isn't on the streets tonight. People said that Commissioner Gordon had heart. He was a tough cop and proud of it. Eating right, exercise, vacations, those things were for guys not so tough. Tobacco was part of it. A smoke would jumpstart the day, help him get through a long night, mellow out the bad hours. Then one day all the pain in the world collected in his chest and squeezed. Jim Gordon's heart wasn't working right anymore. That made it hard to be tough and even harder to be proud. For information about helping your heart to work right, call or write your nearest American Heart Association.
Whoa!
I know, things got real.
Fast.
Terminator 2, which I didn't see until I was like college aged, because they put it on at a sleepover at Brandon's house, and I was too scared to watch it. And I was like, I'm not supposed to be watching rated R movies.
I know. I remember his mom calling and saying, is it okay? I'm like, well,
Is it okay if he doesn't watch the movie?
yeah. She was a little worried, and I said, oh, he likes to. He just doesn't want to have a bad dream. So if you set up some art stuff for him to do, he'll do it.
Well, I have to give it to my friends because they would tell me they would see more violent movies than me or scary movies, and they would tell me about them on the bus. So I would still have my curiosity appeased, but I wouldn't have to be. I was very sensitive, so I would get scared easily. I didn't have to endure it. So I have to thank Brandon and Josh for doing that on the bus, telling me the plots of movies I never saw. So we got our Marvel comic.
We've got
Another Marvel
Marvel
2 in 1.
2 in 1.
Some of my favorite episodes I think we've done were A
The
Thing Team
Thing
Up.
and Rom, two of my favorites.
May issue number 99 from 1983.
Another 83.
I know, it was a good year for comics, I guess.
Actually, I have to confess.
So you would have been like a...
83, I was in college.
Okay, you were in college already.
Yeah. When I chose my comics today, I have my stack of DC and my stack of Marvel, and I just pulled them out and happened to both get 83s. So that was not planned. But this one, I love the cover. And you know I love The Thing.
I know you love Rom.
And I do love
You're
Rom.
one of dozens worldwide. You should start the Rom fan club. I like Rom too, but he's not. I've come to learn he's not a very well-known character.
I know.
But I've read quite a few Roms just because you have them in your collection.
I
love his facial expression here. His jaw's like jutting out a little bit, and the asymmetry in his eye is cool, and his brow.
And this book will not disappoint you with The Thing and his facial expressions.
I really like when the artist or the inker makes the different segments of his rock. They're not completely level or uniform. It really sells the realism to it.
It makes it more like he's more monstrous because it's not, it's not smooth. I love the perspective on his big old fist.
Yeah.
It's a nice cover. So.
The ridges on his fingers.
We open.
He's scared. You don't see the Thing cowering, especially behind the ghost stories. He's such a dork.
He hears this shh. He's like, huh? What was that? And he's reading ghost stories.
He's like a big tough guy, but he's really kind of a scaredy cat. He's like your dog, Maddie.
Yes. He's a bulldog.
He would be a bulldog.
And he says he is Benjamin J. Grimm, the Thing, mightiest member of the fabulous Fantastic Four. He is not one to be frightened by things that go bump in the night. Or is he?
You should have just named Maddie the Thing. Thing!
Now thinking about it, Ben Grimm would have been a great name for him. Benjamin Grimm. But so we open up and he hears that noise again. He's like, what is that? He looks out into the night, and of course it's storming. But look at his face.
Oh.
And he keeps hearing this.
Those beady little pupils.
Yes. He's like, there it is again.
I think if you fought Dr. Doom and like gone to the negative zone, like what kind of ghost story could even scare you like that? Or a thunderstorm's gonna scare you? That's so goofy.
No. He's like, sheesh, what a storm. And then the lights go out.
Oh no.
And he's like, looks like we've just up and blown every fuse in the joint. He's like, but that's not possible. The penthouse has its own power source. Some kind of nutty transformistic power cubes, which Reed whipped up one day. Trouble is, I don't even know how to fix the blasted things, let alone how to change them. And so, by the flickering flame of a cigar lighter, he goes in search of the fuses. And it guides him to the hangar wherein the FF's myriad vehicles are docked. He goes, but I know how to find the main generator. It's that big gizmo over there behind the pogo plane.
Pogo
we have
plane.
this.
What a weird name.
I know, it's the Winged
Golden
Warrior
Steak.
hat.
Ooh. It's only $5.45 plus 50 cents for postage and handling.
I didn't even notice that. So anyway, he finds it, and then he hears the shh. He goes, I had to ask. Like some kind of ghost dragging something slithery through the rain. And he goes
He knows what
over,
that sounds like, I guess, from the book.
and he's moving this huge freaking door. Or
How do they get in there when Ben's not home?
I know. And in comes falling in.
Rom.
And then
He
a
says, "Yow."
steaming silver specter falls upon him.
He probably just thinks it's Silver Surfer. They know other silver people.
That's very
Wouldn't be
true.
that shocking.
It knocks him backwards down the stairs. And he's, yow! And clang. And what kind of ghost goes clang? Hey, wait a minute.
It's not
I
even just
recognize
clang,
this
it's
clown.
ka-clang.
Yes.
I like that he heard that and then he repeats it. Oh, was that a ka-clang I heard? It's a very specific sound.
He goes, wait a minute. I recognize this clown. Rom.
Oh, okay, so they've met before, I guess.
Yeah. They really do a great job with his emotions in this, his expressions.
That's one thing I like about the Marvel 2-in-1s, the team-ups, is usually they're a little goofier or a little more lighthearted.
Yeah. He goes, I don't get it. He's a pretty tough one. Dude, what could have happened? Who could have clobbered him this bad? His armor is steaming. So he carries him over to the table where Reed would, if Reed were there, would examine him. But he's like, oh, there's no power. But just as he's realizing there's no power for the device to work, Rom's gun, or his, what is it, his energy burst
Yeah,
gun,
this little gun.
shoots an energy boost into it. Look at his face. I love that expression.
He has to wear asbestos gloves, he says.
Yes.
I thought he was pretty tough. His exterior, he's got to wear asbestos gloves. That's not good for you, thing.
He goes, oh, and his beady little pen light eyes started glowing again. And Rom is like, thank you, man of Earth, for saving my cyborg life.
Predator, Arnold handshake thing.
Yes. Anytime it was a slow night anyway, but what's up? Who trashed you?
Tis a fearsome tale. Will you hear it? No,
I love
no
the
thank
way
you.
he talks. So he said, we last met when my mission required that I return to my world, Golden Galador, and you lent me a starcraft that I might further my purpose. And
Do you have to call it Golden Galador, or do people just call it Galador for short?
one would think so.
Nope, Golden Galador.
It's the Golden Galador.
There are several Galadors.
Exactly, there could be. He goes, I am Rom, Space Knight, enemy of Wraithkind.
I forgot about the Wraith.
That vile
like
shape-changing race that has
shifters.
infested your own planet Earth.
That's right. Okay, it's all coming back to me for Rom.
So soon after,
Didn't they overran his planet or something, or is he the last of his kind or something like that?
well, he's explaining a little bit.
I should
And
just
soon after, I returned to Earth, and my quest, the pursuit of Wraithkind, led me here.
Whoa, really? Witches, he says.
Yes. To the Baxter Building? No, to a castle in a park deep within your own vast city. There, I found a coven of wraith witches. Oh, I love this. He said, yes, they were casting arcane spells to raise the dead.
Oh gosh.
And what they did, the empty armor they were trying to animate had belonged to Karis.
Who was also known as Firefall. Karis fell early on, a victim of the Wraith Galador War. Okay, so he's not the last of his kind. It's part of an ongoing conflict between their peoples. So that's the natural form of the Wraith there. Those
Isn't it
weird,
nasty?
like, marshmallow vampire guys.
I know.
Pale.
Look at his face. And look at his face there.
I know, he's so pathetic. The armor was next inhabited by a Wraith dupe, a human named Archie Stryker. He turned against his Wraith masters to aid me and paid for his courage with death. Yet the Wraith still possessed the Firefall armor. But it's empty, ain't it? The armor contains the living flame of Galador, and the Wraith seek to animate its fiery ghost. Ghost? He's so stupid. What a goof.
Oh, he's awesome.
Learning of their plan, I attempted to halt their blasphemy, but I had arrived too late. The armor had become animate, and the precious living fire of Galador now served the sorceress Wraith Masters. We clashed, and our battle continued late into the night. Though I knew it was but armor and energy I was fighting, and not my fallen friend, I still could not bring myself to unleash my full fury.
Yeah.
I like that flaming armor. It's cool. It's got a jetpack.
Yeah.
I always wanted a jetpack.
Ben is just great in this book.
He's such a scaredy cat. I
He
like this
is.
version of J.
Ooh.
Jonah Jameson.
That's like his true form. Yeesh. That's Eugene Levy.
Yes.
Definitely. So anyway, whenever the dire wraiths had no such
Compunctions.
yes, and so
Ooh, a supernova strike. They unleashed on him.
unleashed on him, and he came falling. Although he did angle it so he would fall somewhere familiar. And I get it now. The shishing sound I heard was you steaming up there in the rain. Yes, and your timely intervention helped me complete the cooling process. What happens now? I must again go against Wraith magic and their ghostly menial no.
And their ghostly menial, and try to wrest the soul of Firefall from their fearsome control.
That's an awkward sentence.
Their ghostly menial. Yeah, I'm not sure.
And he asks, will you stand beside me, man of earth, against both shape changers and spirits? Oh. So they go to
Usually
Central
he's
Park.
not so cowardly. I guess he really doesn't like thunderstorms.
I know. This whole book, he's
There's
just
a castle in Central Park?
apparently a wraith castle.
Jeez.
And the thing wonders why he has come here to aid the Silver Space Knight, a hero he barely knows. I'm sure inside he's like, what am I doing? Why am I here? I'm such an idiot. And is it because Rom's enemies, the Wraiths, are shape changers like the FF's foes, the Skrulls?
Yeah, that is pretty coincidental.
Or does he feel a certain kinship with this man trapped within an inhuman body? My energy analyzer reveals that the Wraiths are still here. Thinking me dead, they have not fled. His face is great. What the? 'Tis the living flame of Galador. And so Thing pulls up the whole sidewalk to block it. He goes, get back, spaceman. I've had experience with fiery rains before. He goes, you ought to see what it's like when my partner, the Human Torch, takes a shower. The Baxter building's all steamed up for hours.
Could he just not be on fire while he does it?
I know.
It's a weird, because I like Ron, but he's such a formal character. He's always like Tiz and all this because he's a knight. Like,
He's
a
very
space
much
knight.
the paladin of
Yeah, I wish he had a little more of a casual side.
Yeah, because even here,
That's why he's a good pairing with Ben, because Ben is very goofy.
And Ben is chaos, where he's total control.
Within Yon Castle. Who talks like that?
Yes. And so he's going to go.
Like he comes to Earth and he's like, I'm gonna speak like an antiquated version of their language. I know I'm not even human, but I just like the way this one sounds.
Well, he was once human.
Oh, I thought he was from Galador.
He is, well, yeah.
That's right.
So while Rom's going to fight a fiery ghost that's already beaten him once tonight and almost freed the life out of him.
Fried the life
Or
out of him.
fried the life out of him, yeah, thank you. And have at the servant of
That's
sorcery.
a cool panel.
Yes.
The way it goes over the edge a little bit on both sides.
I'll not rest this night till wraithkind witchery is cleansed from your sacred armor. And the flame screams, it is truly alive, and I must not drain it of life. And all that lives is sacred to be preserved. So he is like a paladin.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's very...
no matter what the cost to myself, I must not negate a living entity. But then it sets the trees on fire, which causes him... he's got to think about it. He goes, but the wraiths motivating firefall have no such reservations. And their mindless minion has just set those living trees ablaze. A quandary. Must I take a life to protect a life? Have I no other choices?
So
It's an awkward pose.
He's like lawful good.
Yes, yes. And Ben is chaotic good, definitely.
Yeah.
Or maybe just chaotic. Because he's chaotic good. I think so. So he's sneaking in the castle. He goes, there's some
Sounds like
kind of...
dogs snarling at a full moon. Their chanting does.
And so he gets to the open. Welcome, man of earth, to the moment of your demise. Sheesh, can't give in to my fears, gotta take the offense. Hey, what's happening to that stairs?
This.
So they knock the stairs out. Yeah. And then he just goes falling and falling and falling into his nightmares.
You rarely see him with his jaws open that wide.
And his expression is just terror. And but it's like Ben. What always happens to him is he goes falling into his nightmares, into his inner voices,
and he
then
remembers
realizes
that he's super strong. Oh yeah, I'm super strong.
Yep.
And he tears it apart.
And that's like, can't let these nightmares beat me. Got to take a deep breath, grit my teeth, and come out swinging. He doesn't even look like he has his shorts on there.
He took them off.
Nudity helps when you're fighting.
That kingpin is a little weird looking. He's got
He's
such a wide head, no
huge.
neck. He's like, I'm taking these pies away until you get a neck again. You
Black
gotta go
Bull.
on a diet. No, it's Bullseye.
Oh, that's Bullseye, yeah.
And this must be a henchman. He's struggling to hold it up.
So, heads up, boogies. It's clobbering time. The monstrous one lumbers forth. His fears failed to unnerve him. But he's always living in his fears.
Yeah, well, he always overcomes them, too.
He always does, every time, yeah.
He can't really make permanent progress, but he'll eventually overcome.
And wraith witchery must then strike him in a more direct fashion. And then we cut back to Rom fighting the suit. And the moment of truth draws nigh. I must either strike with all my might at Firefall's ghost or die and become a ghost myself. But suddenly, wait, the armor falters. As if the sorcery motivating the specter were being diverted elsewhere. Confused and directionless, the Firefall armor is ascending into the
He must
storm.
have summoned it to fight the thing, I guess.
And that's when Rom strikes. Let nature and my neutralizer now end the desecration for all time. 'Tis done. Now may the spirit of Firefall truly rest in peace. And he falls from the sky as Rom returns, while Wraithkind regrets the day they disturbed a space knight's final sleep. Enraged, Rom enters the ancient edifice, but then, oh no, it cannot be. They've taken control of the thing.
Of course.
So, surprise, Space
Gotta have
Knight.
the two heroes fight each other briefly.
Yeah, you destroyed one of our servants, and so we diverted our power to the making of another. They are very ghastly looking. So then Ben Grimm has been bewitched. This is nice, though.
Yeah,
Some nice actions. He grabs him right by the square head. And 'tis my own safety I must see to. And so he shoots at the wraiths.
They blocked it.
And see how easily we deflect your neutralizers, Ray Rom. You cannot concentrate all of your energies against us whilst you yourself are under such an attack. The space scum is correct. I cannot banish them to the void of limbo unless I first defeat the thing. So twice tonight I have been forced to hurt a friend in order to fight a foe. And I would, there were some other way. But this is war, and all Earth would suffer if I shirk my Space Knight's duty. So he lets go with his gun on Ben. And what happens? Can you guess?
He kills him.
No!
Oh, he reverts back to his human form.
Yes.
Hey, to the Golden Galaxy. That's a good reaction shot.
Yes. Ooh, these guys. Scourge of the Sacred Shadows. And both Space Knight and Wraithkind stand
Trying to put his
transfixed.
shorts back on.
They must be really stretchy fabric. He goes, I'm not the thing anymore. I'm Ben Grimm, a man. And the Wraith spell over me is broken.
He can still beat him up, though.
The man of Earth fights with fury. So sudden and fierce is his assault that the Wraiths have yet to mount a defense. Now that they are disoriented, it's time for my neutralizer. So he takes aim at the Wraiths and he gets them and sends them to limbo.
But does it turn the thing back into his monster? Huh?
And as Ben's fighting this guy, he's like, and he's turning to ash. And Ram is like, worry not, then, Grimm. He was merely banished to limbo like the others. But this is war. There are casualties
Damn,
in war.
Rom. He just tells him he goes to limbo. He's like, that guy died. You killed him. Or, I mean, no, he lives on in limbo. You just injured him into dust.
Don't have to tell me about war. I used to be a fighter pilot. But what have you done to me? I'm not a monster anymore. I'm a man. A man. And he goes, I did not suspect that a man dwelt within your monstrous form when I first trained my neutralizer upon you. Are you not glad to have reclaimed the humanity you lost? No, blast it, I ain't glad. And he's upset because of a certain little woman, Alicia Masters, who loves me as the thing. I don't know how she's feel about a Ben Grimm.
She's like, no, it would have been good to be a normal human. I like you in spite of you being the thing, not because of you being the thing.
But as he's making this statement, he starts turning back into the
temporary.
thing. And the Space Knight is like, oh, you're the power that made you into what you are must be stronger than what my neutralizer is. And then they end by, Rom, thank you, my friend, for enlisting this day to aid me in the Wraith War. Forget it, pal. If you ever need me to fight them uglies again, just give me a call. I'm in the book, The Orange Pages.
Good one.
But I thought it was a good story.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a great story. It's not a great joke.
No,
The Orange Pages.
His jokes are never that good.
Double-sized issue next, number 100. I wonder if we have that one. Look how realistic the Star Wars video game is. Remember in the movies how they used to hit a ball back and forth with their lightsabers from a top-down view? That was my favorite part of that movie.
But I thought this was a really good comic book.
They're a good duo. Space Knight.
I love the silly Ben. You know,
New Yorker Orange Rock Monster.
Yeah,
I like when he's a fraidy cat. It's kind of a funny aspect of his character. Because it's like he can get blasted and stuff and endure it, but he's like, ooh, a ghost story. Spooky. It's like, didn't you get punched by Galactus once or something?
Yes.
And you still turned out okay. Well, if you enjoyed watching this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we're getting really close to our 50 subscriber giveaway to give away a free comic. And I'm sure we're going to do more giveaways in the future. So we really appreciate you watching. Thank you.